Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel where I'm taking a crack at this vlog thing. You all probably know me from my EXTV channel where I speak primarily about football. Well, this is the more mature, calm side of me where I speak about very serious topics. Not really. So I was kind of trying to think about what I was going to talk about for my first topic. I was actually going to do a shoot for EXTV, and for the longest while I said I'm not gonna do something unless it really inspires me. Well, guess what? Black Panther came out, and the reason why I'm gonna speak about Black Panther is because there's a Trini in it. Find out more in 1 minute. Hey everyone, welcome to ExtratimeTV. Oh wait, not ExtratimeTV, but my vlog, which I have to get used to. This is my first vlog, and I thought it would be very appropriate to start my first vlog with Black Panther. Why? Everyone is speaking about Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan. I'm going to speak about Winston Duke. I honestly did not know that he had any relation to Winston Duke. I had no idea that he was in any way a Trinbagonian, specifically Tobago. I was shocked. I had to Google it myself. I was like, no way. And I started checking it out. And guess what? He was fantastic. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Trinidad Tobago, and Winston Duke is from Trinidad Tobago, and specifically Tobago. I actually was not sure about that. I heard rumors when the movie was coming out, but I wasn't sure. We have somebody from our country in there. I had to talk about it. So before I get into the actual details of this movie, just a couple things I want to say just to get off my chest. I'm not an expert. I'm just someone who just really likes this movie and is excited to speak about someone from our country in this movie, which I was going to watch anyway. And let's be real, all you Marvel MCU fans were going to watch this movie anyway, myself included. I've been looking at these movies since Iron Man, and I did not know that there was a Trinbagonian in there, so I was going to watch this movie anyway. So first things first, everybody is talking about Black Panther all around the world. This is not a Trini or a Trinbagonian thing. Everybody around the world is speaking about this movie. And it's interesting that these movies have so much influence on the mainstream culture. You know, when I was younger, music was the main influence. And, you know, music sort of got kind of, you know, diluted and, you know, watered down. And now apparently the new medium, it's movies. Black Panther is very special because it taps into an age-old thing with Marvel Comics, which was very special. Now I'm going to give you all a history lesson, so let's go back in time. Okay, I don't know, that's supposed to be my back in time effect. It's terrible. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, like the real comic nerds like me, and I'm not even a proper nerd, there are guys who know way more than I do. X-Men, comics like X-Men, you know, Avengers and those guys, Marvel was very special among other comics, but Marvel was notably very clever in how they did things. A lot of you don't know that X-Men was actually based on, you know, the social injustice in the 50s and 60s where Africans were heavily oppressed, and in a direct response to that, you know, they used mutants as the persecuted people. So they were very clever, and they always tackled social issues, and, you know, they are very cutting edge. You know, they were the first people to use, you know, black superheroes in that context. You know, arguably there are other comics as well, so you guys out there, don't kill me. I'm not a comic expert, I just know what I know. But this is what is very interesting about Marvel. I never thought in my entire life that I'd be seeing any of these Marvel movies, much less a Black Panther movie, and much less a very good Black Panther movie. Sure, you could speak about Blade, which was very good. But let's be real, Blade is this very dark character. You know, there's War Machine, who's a kind of sidekick to Iron Man. You know, there's Falcon, who's kind of a sidekick to Captain America. And then you have Black Panther, T'Challa. I've always been a fan of this character. You know, they come from the fictitious world of Wakanda in Africa in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And based on what's going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was happening. And also, for those of you who don't know, this is not T'Challa's first appearance in the MCU. They actually hinted at him all the way back in Iron Man 2, which is, you know, real nerd stuff. I'm going to show you a screenshot right there. That's Wakanda, and this is way back in maybe 2009, 2010 when the second Iron Man came out. For the real nerds would have spotted it, but that was his first appearance. The second time was in Civil War, where he showed up. He was a major character in the movie. His father, T'Chaka, died at the hands of what was thought to be the Winter Soldier, but it's really Baron Zemo, or Zemo, as he was known. It's very different from the comics, and it was very, very interesting, and it was only a matter of time. Everybody loved him, just like they love Spider-Man as well, but T'Challa really made an impact, and, you know, people started to see a proper mainstream character, which Marvel, you know, was proud of back in the day, making its way into the mainstream. One of the special things about this movie is, beside us having a Tobagonian in there, is that you don't have to be a Marvel fan. Let's be real, the Marvel fans, we were going to watch this anyway. I said that before. But people who don't know anything about Marvel and who is Iron Man, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, the Avengers, they could go to this movie and completely enjoy it because it's actually a very solid film.
Nice.
I saw people in their 60s going in there and enjoying it. And I know these comics have been around a long time now. There was a guy that I saw, and you could tell that he used to read the comics. I remember when I went to see Captain America, the Winter Soldier many years ago, there was a guy who was 60 years old, and he said, listen, I read the comics, I know what's going to happen. So it's interesting how these comics transcend generations. And then there were people in Trinidad and Tobago who didn't know. And some of them went to see it because they heard there's a Trini in there. And kudos to everybody for supporting our guy. But the movie itself is really solid. Michael B. Jordan, Chadwick Boseman, and our boy, Winston Duke, had very wonderful performances. And like I said, I'm not a movie critic. I'm not a professional. I'm just speaking from a Trinbagonian perspective. And first things first, this is a Marvel movie. It's not a special movie. It's one of many wonderful characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But boy, this movie represents a lot. This is the first time a character has had so much influence on the mainstream and galvanizing a lot of people who didn't really care too much for these sort of things. How all of a sudden you see it on social media, it's exciting. Lots of people are loving what Marvel is doing. And kudos to Kevin Feige. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly at Marvel. He has done an amazing job in this cinematic universe. It's been an amazing movie. But with all that rambling aside, I had to get that out of the way. Let's talk about the actual movie. I'm not going to spoil too much. I'm not going to go into details. I'm going to speak possibly about spoilers. So if you'd like to leave, now's the time. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Okay, you've been warned. I give you 5 seconds. So the movie, just to summarize it really quickly, T'Challa, who recently lost his dad in Civil War, took over the kingdom of Wakanda, and he had to go through the rituals, and it was all authentic and very exciting, visually pleasing. And he was going through the motions, and like all kings, he suffered turmoil and had doubts about himself, and a lot of challenges. Our boy Mr. Duke came in as MBaku, which was in the comics he was and the cartoons he was more a direct rival. But in this movie, he was sort of portrayed as kind of like this, likable character, which kind of redeemed himself, even though he didn't like T'Challa and he challenged him. There was the element of honor and also humor. He was funny when he made those gorilla sounds, harassing Mr. Ross. You all know that scene. It was hilarious. I like this character. It was not ridiculous, and he did us proud. But back to the story. Fast forward. It turned out that T'Chaka had some dark secrets, and the Michael B. Jordan character, which I think was fantastic. He is my favorite character. Was amazing in this. So before I talk about Michael B. Jordan, just noteworthy, 2 Human Torches, Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, for those of you who don't know, Chris Evans was actually the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four a gazillion years ago, which sucked really bad. Then they made the second Fantastic Four, Michael B. Jordan. Guess what? He was a Human Torch. Made the jump to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was fantastic. He had a very interesting storyline, which, listen, a lot of us, he is meant to be the bad guy in the show, but based on his storyline, you could tell that he is, you can relate to his story. This is a guy, he got a raw deal, and, he grew up in the streets, and he was raised in the US, and, T'Chaka made a very, questionable decision, which, T'Challa disagreed with when he spoke to him in the mystical realm. And you could see the motivation for his character, as, Killmonger. He became a product of his environment, and he decided that, listen, the wonderful resources of Wakanda needs to be shared. And, it's a sentiment that everybody could kind of agree. I kind of understand where he's coming from, You have these guys in Wakanda living like royalty and, share some of that wealth. Well, that was his motivation. He orchestrated everything. Claw was a very interesting character. For those of you who don't know, he's Schmeagol. He does a lot of motion capture. I think he did it for Hulk as well. He was fantastic. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing him anytime soon, but watch the movie and find out why. Challenges T'Challa, took over the kingdom. T'Challa takes it back, and eventually it shows the 2 ideologies clashing. Both of them sort of, in the end, there was a very heartwarming moment where they realized, listen, T'Challa understood where he was coming from. This is what's special about the Black Panther movie for me, because it did not promote that blind anger and hatred that you would expect from a movie that's trying to make a statement. Both times you saw T'Challa making very morally strong decisions. In Civil War, when he confronted Zemo, he admitted that he was allowing vengeance to consume him, and he spared him, which was Zemo's character, who was the guy who was responsible for killing his dad. Then in this movie, he also faced the decision of also possibly killing Michael B. Jordan and also Winston Duke, MBaku, and he didn't. And this is why he's special. This is the good part. This is the moral, and it may go over some people's heads. I hope not, but it shows that it's very easy to go on that dark path and be vengeful and they told the Killmonger character that, you know, listen, you are becoming exactly like the people you hate. And there's a way to do things. And that is what I thought was a wonderful message in this whole movie. It was amazing. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. This is a very amazing movie, but I had to talk about it. This is my first vlog. You know, I thought it would have been appropriate to kickstart this vlog with something special. This is big news to Trinidad Tobago. He's one of many people who have done our nation proud. And who knows what I'll talk about next. This is really just me. This is my avenue to just talk whatever I want to talk about. And, you know, let me know if you wanted anything you want me to talk about in the comment section below. This is really just a sort of me and my realm. So with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you want me to talk about. If there's questions, if you agree, if you disagree. Are you as excited as I am to see, you know, somebody from our country in such a massive movie? I mean, it seems like there are, you know, Trinbagonians everywhere. And, you know, specifically Tobago, which is our sister isle, which is even more impressive. I mean, this guy came from there and, you know, is in a big blockbuster, massive movie. It's not like some cameo in some movie. This is a huge movie, played a major role. Are you excited as I am? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check me out at EXTV, where Kevin and I speak about Champions League, which is coming up. You can check that out here. And be sure to stay tuned because I'll be doing more videos.